Firstly, I thank every one of you for your willing participation, which was something which we at the initial stage when this was broached as a subject matter, what we thought would happen. The reason why we thought we'll do it in this manner was for the simple reason is that we would like the intelligentsia to play a bigger role in the country. In the last 17, 18 months of governing, I see a huge degradation in that attempt. And we need to bring in that knowledge that you possess into budget making, into government running, as well as certain areas where there is a lacuna in our policy planning. So this is the first attempt that we thought we'll do. To be very frank, the last time we completely forgot to get your ideas. Individuals you all sent along. But as a team, we basically had 1,364 proposals in year 2016 budget. But your area as a whole was taken only in a piecemeal approach. That's the reason why we looked at all of you all being contributory, as Anura mentioned, give a voice to the voiceless, and to ensure that we have a realistic, futuristic budget. I'm sure all of you are eager to have a very strong economy. This is our motherland, and it is us to ensure that we take it to a better tomorrow. Blaming the past does not get you anywhere. We only got to use history only to get our future goals into more realistic alignment. What we have inherited as a government, I hope no other finance minister will ever get in the future. And I'm sure, as Mr. Sarat Fonseca, when he took over the office as the army commander, he said, I will not let the next army commander have the plague that was there, which was there for 25 years. And he finished it in the 28th year. Likewise, I hope myself, my secretary and our team would ensure that no other finance minister will have the problems that we at one moment, which all came at the same time to us. Professionalism is required. Problems are there. Guiding through turbulent times is our necessity. But doing stupid things when we know that we can do without it is the problem that we have got to overcome. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to elaborate too much on what we expect from you. But I like to take it along as to how we want, what we want to get out of you. You have a reach to the ground itself. We want your ideas that you have, maybe theoretical, blended with the political, realistic situations that are there, and help me and the Treasury in order to get to a budget which will be futuristic. That can be stemming from various subject matters. If we give you a format to you, you will be rigidly trying to adhere to that format. We want to make it as open as you could, bring it in sectors that you feel, compare and contrast with other peers that we are competing at this moment. First, have a very strong domestic economy. We have a national plan that is there. If we locally can't meet up to the expectations of national planning, then we have got to ensure we have technical know-how coming from outside. If both those are not sufficient enough, then only you need to get the foreign direct investments coming. Now I see many universities coming up with various proposals. They are good for the time that they are mentioning at that particular moment. But I want you all to be simulating that situation, navigating it through those turbulent times to get to a longer distance that we are going to plan with you. And that's what we expect from you. I'm sure when you elected the President, Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, and our Prime Minister, you expected a change. A change that is desirable to make Sri Lanka a better tomorrow. That is the reason why we've got down to work now, even though the task in our hand is not an easy one. We want you all to help us in that process. You know the emphasis that we are playing on education. It is led by nobody else but the Prime Minister himself. 13 years of schooling, adding on additional university students. We have roughly 125,000 passing out, but only 25,000 get into university. We come up with a more novel system as to how to get more of that intelligentsia into the network. Utilize your under-capacity performance into a more capacity-oriented performance. Ensure that universities are giving the best out of, not just to say here is a vote allocated and we just basically spin out degrees that only for the sake of academic interest that is there. These are the areas that we want to change. You look at the health bill. We are spending a colossal amount on health. But are we getting the desired value for money concept? That is what we want you all to look at. You all have experience coming in. You can use your undergraduates that are there to get a more survey-oriented approach, survey and samples of information, so that will help you in your decision making. But all of them should be done in less than, how long, Dimitri? What is the time frame, okay? 1 month. I know we basically started late, I regret, but this is a good start to ensure that we take it, because I don't think budgets are a 1-year cycle. It is a perspective plan. It's corporate planning in company terms, and that is normally perspective plans are outdated today. You can't even plan for tomorrow. How the hell can you plan for 20 years? But as a government, we need to do that. We have got to ensure that we have got to look at the long-term picture. There's no point saying we'll get per capita of $10,000 by year 2015 or year 2020 without saying as to how we intend taking those next 4 years. And we have made it very clear. Financially, fiscal consolidation of 3.5% of budget deficit will be there by year 2020. Now you know what the way forward is. We had 7.9% last year. We have 5.4% this year. It will be 4.7% in year 2017, and then the way forward. Now you could see as to there is a professional judgment in as to how we are making those statements. So that's what I would basically expect from you all, and I'm sure your unstinted support will certainly be making a nation building exercise that much easier. Don't just think, don't colorize the objective. What we want is the national objective. Please come out with whatever that you feel which you think is the best for the country. It may be some radical changes. We need to do that. If you look at the fertilizer, many thought, why are we looking at doing a change from the normal structure? The reason being is to take away the corruptive element, the impractical element, as well as the middle agent, who was basically sizing almost 1/3 of the total subsidy of 45 billion. Now you could see it's much more efficient. The farmers get the money, as well as it basically achieves, or it's target oriented. Likewise, there are many areas, some of the beneficiaries is another colossal waste. The real needy don't get it. Some political catcher somewhere down the line gets that. Guy who has a trishaw is also getting some. Person who doesn't get a $2 a day is outside the sum. Now that is where you need. We don't want to perpetuate poverty. We want to eradicate poverty. And that's the reason how we need bottoms-up approach from all of you. So I wouldn't labor too much, but thank you once again. And I congratulate the organizers for able to think this far, able to integrate our ministry into this particular one, and most importantly, getting you all involved in the process of this futuristic budget creation that we intend doing. So we will open ourselves for questions so that will help you all to get your real knowledge put into place. But I was told today that the attendance was reduced owing to certain correct exam scripts being corrected. So I'm sure all of them who are not even here would be in thought process, would be with us. And meet as often as you would like, but we need it exactly in 30 days, handed over to us so that we can digest that and utilize what you basically, from your perspective, feel that Sri Lanka can be taken to a better tomorrow. But one thing I would like, the academia was met in 2016, somewhere in March, and the examples that were given were totally theoretical. I don't want a theoretical exercise that is there. If you say that this is the way forward of a job creation, you all must give the basis as to how you got to get to that point. There's no point saying have education 6%, have health 3%, ensure that you have this amount of capital expenditure without the base that is there. We are a government where we inherited, where our government revenue was insufficient to pay our debt servicing. We have 700 billion in salaries, 200 billion in pensions. We have a debt servicing of 1,385 and a revenue of 1,500, 1,600. Now we must ensure that we have to cut our coat according to the cloth that is there. So how are you going to get to that? You must be able to traverse through that journey and able to say this is the way that we intend getting. We need to be radical, as I said, let's be that. But if that radicalness helps to eradicate poverty, to make a better tomorrow, make Sri Lanka more competitive, you could see our trends are moving towards the service-oriented industry, how to commercialize the agriculture sector, and so on it goes. So once again, thank you very much. And I basically call upon the people who would like to come onto the panel here. Andra, you basically made who could come here and ask the questions, answer the questions that you would like to pose to us. Thank you very much, and all the very best in all your deliberations.